Hey guys, welcome back to the Jay's Fit Down podcast. I'm your host Jay here with another episode today on the show. We're here today to talk about the Los Angeles Rams and why they are in trouble for the 2023 season. Why they need to be on watch right now as a team that they desperately have no room for error right now. They're not in a good spot, but we'll get to them in a little bit more here on the show today. But before we get started, guys, please make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Let us know what you think about the show in the comment section. Please give a like and share with your friends, family who loves football, and even if they don't love football, introduce them to football through Jay's Fifth Down. This is a great medium to do it. We love football over here, as you can see, as you know, you guys that have been a part of this family for a long time, as you know, we love football here on Jay's Fifth Down. So please, I encourage you to share this with those who will also do as well. And if you haven't, guys, please, I can't stress it enough. Please get a copy of my book, A Good Man in an Evil World. Still on sale on Amazon right now for purchase for electronic copy or paperback copy like this one. It's a great read, if I must say so myself. So make sure you guys get yourself a copy. Again, you can find it on Amazon.com. Just look up the title, A Good Man in an Evil World. Again, this is the book that I wrote. So I'm an author and a podcaster now. Um, but anyway, So without further ado, let's begin. Los Angeles Rams finished 5-12 in 2022 after winning the Super Bowl 56 against the Cincinnati Bengals in the 2021 season. You know, they traded for Matthew Stafford, brought him in. I mean, they went all in there, gave up draft picks and everything. Jared Goff traded him to Detroit for Stafford, and brought in more players as well to go. Basically they pulled a Tampa Bay, like Tampa Bay did the year before when they brought in Brady. Said we're going to put it all in there and go win the Super Bowl, and that's exactly what they did. However, they are right now is what they're seeing are the ramifications of doing that, because when you do things like that, in the moment it gets you your Super Bowl, it gets you the title, or at the very least a trip to that game or to the playoffs. It makes your team very much better, right? But that comes with the cost, because more likely than not, you're giving up draft picks, you're giving away, you know, solid veteran player, or sorry, young solid role players on your team. For those star veterans, who are probably getting up there in age a little bit, or they might be getting to the time where they want their contracts extended. You have a lot of money that's tying you down to your players at the moment. So if you're a front office, if you don't come away with that win in the Super Bowl, or a trip to the Super Bowl, or even just to the playoffs in general, that's not a good situation to come into, especially, or to come out of, if you do that and you don't reap the things that you put out there to get what you were looking for from a analytical perspective, from a football perspective. That's what the Rams did. They, fortunately for them, they got what they wanted. But now the problem with them is they're seeing what they're seeing right now is the problems of doing that, because now the money's tying them down. Your players are getting a little bit older, and now you're not able to pay everybody, right? So that's another issue. You got your Super Bowl, but you didn't do anything after that. Last year, the expectations were for the Rams. Of course, nobody thought they were going to repeat, right? But everybody around the league thought they were going to at least make the playoffs again, be a solid contending team in the NFC, and they couldn't do that. They finished with a 5-12 record, the worst under Sean McVay, I believe, since he took over as the head coach in LA. So wasn't pleased there. I know he was not pleased. He's one of the best young coaches around. In general, actually, I respect a lot. I respect Sean McVay a lot. I think he's an amazing offensive mind. I think he's a great analytical mind. I think his coaching is phenomenal. But unfortunately, he just couldn't. They just couldn't get together last season, and it showed if you watch them play. I mean, they're just getting they. The games they really won were against teams that that had top 10 records. Top 10 draft picks in this past draft here in April. So teams that didn't contend for the playoffs, teams that weren't that good. You're talking about teams like the Cardinals, the Falcons, the Panthers, whoever it might be, right? Those are the teams that they beat, as you would expect them to. But when it came to the playoff teams, your 49ers, your Seahawks, your whoever, those types of games. Even Packers or whatever, they couldn't win those games. So they couldn't win those games and they struggled. But now let's mention Matthew Stafford was hurt for he only played 9 games due to some injuries. And he finished the year with 11 touchdowns, 8 picks. Not very good. The offensive line was banged up as well, so not very good offensive line play. And some guys even just struggled. Quite notably, the right side offensive line struggled a little bit. The guard spots in particular. I didn't watch too many Rams games, but I did watch enough. So I'm not doing this video with no context here, but that's what I saw. This didn't look like the usual LA Rams football that we're used to seeing. Just coming in and just using that high octane play. Speed getting you off your toes. With the offense and the defense coming after you. They're fast. They're physical. They can rush the passer. They got great, pass coverage. It just wasn't like that. This past season for LA, I didn't see it much. Their rushing game wasn't there either. And the bad thing is when your quarterback is hurt a lot, and that you can't throw the football that much, because the pass protection is not good. You have to be able to run the ball, and the Rams could not run the ball. They finished like 27th in like rushing yards or things, something like they were in the bottom, like 3 in all the main rushing statistical categories. So that's a problem for any NFL team. You have to be able to run the ball, especially if you are not able to throw it. If your starting quarterback's hurt, or you're just not in a position where you can throw it as much as you like to efficiently do it. You have to be able to run the football. Cam Akers, their running back field consisted of Cam Akers and Kyron Williams last year, is what mainly, and just wasn't that it just wasn't enough. Sony Michelle also, but still he was kind of off and on, so with some issues. So it's just, and he is now retired actually. So congrats to Sony on the retirement, 2-time champ, in the league. So in his time with New England and LA, so great deal for him. But his Rams aren't doing too well right now, and Cooper Kupp he missed 8 games due to injury as well. So I'm just really the Rams, they can, if they want to, can remain relevant right now. I mean, they got the Super Bowl. I understand that. Rams fans like, we got our ring, leave us alone. I get it. It's kind of like talking to Lakers fans, like when they made the trade for AD, right? In the bubble for the bubble, or before they got the league went into the bubble in Orlando, and the Lakers went in and won the championship in the bubble. It's like, okay, yeah, we traded away those players, we traded away Lonzo Ball, Josh Hart, all those guys, for AD, and yeah, if it worked, so who cares, right? But now I see that the Lakers, I see those young guys that did trade, and I saw how much better they've gotten, and I wonder what would have happened if the Lakers were a little bit more patient with them. So it's not the same situation, but similar. But anyway, back to football. The main point here is that, yeah, when you do things like that, it's like, okay, we got our championship. So what? I understand that, Rams fans. I'm giving you hey, you got your championship. You're just coming from Falcons fans, so I can't harp on you about that. You got your ring. But what I'm saying is that now look at what you have to pay for, because now you lost draft picks. You had to trade away Jalen Ramsey, just financial reasons. He didn't play the best season of his career last year. I mean, granted, he's still an amazing player. I'm not taking anything away from Jalen Ramsey. He's an awesome corner, but he didn't play his best season. So you have to make that tough decision there. Defensively, you lost. You lost Leonard Floyd, right? So he's gone. So that's another thing. You lost Von Miller to the Bills. So season ago, right? So it's that's what happens when you bring in all these guys. You're not able to keep them around. You're not able to pay them because it's like, yeah, we go and trade for all these guys. We're going to sign these big name stars and stuff to come and win that Super Bowl. Now what? Now you can't keep everybody because you have to pay everybody. So you got a big name quarterback. You got to pay him, or he's getting paid a lot rather. You got your big name receiver, Cooper Kupp. You have to make sure he's getting his bread. So that's the thing about it. I mean, now that's why it's so important to maximize your team when you draft a quarterback and he's on his rookie deal, because there you're able to spend on other positions of need. We talk about this in many videos here on the show, but I just want to reiterate because a lot of people don't understand football and they get on Twitter and they act like they're some these connoisseurs that get it and like they're just some experts. Like, dude, no, you're in your basement eating Cheetos, drinking a big grape soda, like watching football. Like, no, you don't understand. Like, this is how it goes. Like, you're supposed to you should maximize your team's potential. You bring in draft these players while your quarterback's on the rookie deal, while you're not having to pay them so much and develop, and then bring in guys as well as you see fit. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with the all-in approach, but when it works, you have to deal with the ramifications that come with that. So I just, the Rams right now, they're in a spot where they need their offensive line to step up next year if they will want to have any shot of competing in the NFC West, because the Cardinals won't be good. We already know that. Kyler Murray's out for the year, so the Cardinals won't be any good. The 49ers, depending on what happens with the quarterback situation, could be good still where they are. I mean, I'm assuming Brock Purdy is still going to be the starter. So if he is, then they'll be straight. Um, the Seahawks, well, I already said on this show a couple of videos ago that the Seahawks are going to be very good this year. I think they are. I think Geno is coming back better than ever too. So I think they're going to be like maybe finish second in the division. They have to. I just don't see any other way. Yeah, they definitely finished second in the division. So the Rams right now, really, I mean, they're in the spot where they could either be like a 4-win team or at most a 7 or maybe 8-win team. I just don't see them any better. I mean, like I said, I just, when you look at the talent across the board, they don't have too much experience on the outside as well. I mean, yeah, N'Kobe Durant's pretty nice. He's a good player. They brought back John Johnson, veteran safety, but then you lose Jalen Ramsey. That's a huge blow to your secondary. Ernest Jones, he's back. He's there. He's starting linebacker. Yeah, I like him. He's a good player. Other than that, your experience is vague, defensively. So, I just don't know that's a huge part of it. Aaron Donald, and of course, how do I forget Aaron Donald, right? But it's still he's still Aaron Donald, so you got him. But other than that, it's just I don't know, man. The Rams, I don't know, they're just they are in trouble. They are in serious trouble. If they do not have a competent season this year, it's gonna look things gonna look different for LA in the next couple of years. I mean, if they don't get it around at least by 2024, the 2024 season, then I mean, I would expect Sean McVay to probably leave as well. I mean, he already contemplated retirement this past offseason, earlier this offseason rather. And said he chose to come back and coach. So we'll see what happens there. But I mean, yeah, and another thing too, Van Jefferson, he's a very underrated receiver. His dad, of course, played in the league, is now the receiver coach for the Arizona Cardinals. So Sean Jefferson, but Van Jefferson is very good. And of course, when Cooper Kupp is going to get 200 targets a season, I don't expect Van Jefferson to go out and put up like, 1,200, 1,300 yards and 10 touchdowns. I don't expect that from him. But what I do expect for him is to be that solid number. What I do expect for him is to be that solid number 2 receiver behind Cooper Kupp right now. I do expect him to be that guy because, Kupp is going to be seeing a lot of double coverages also. And sometimes he'll beat them anyway because he's just good. But I expect Van Jefferson to step up. I want him to step up. I want him to get to reel in these targets, to reel in these catches because he's entering the contract year. So I really could see him getting like a similar deal to Juju Smith-Schuster in free agency. That's kind of what he's aiming for, like 3 years, $30 million, right? Maybe a little bit more if he plays really well. This depends on how the receiver market looks at that time, but yeah, I just think and yeah, the Rams have got to they need him to step up as well as many other players, but the injury bug just happens, and that's what happened to them last year. They just got hurt with the injury bug, and they didn't really play too well as a team either offensively. So we'll see what happens with them. But yeah, that's all I have today for you guys. So let me know what you think in the comments. Are the Rams going to be a playoff team in 2023, or will they be at the bottom of the cellar with the Arizona Cardinals in the division and in the NFL in general? Let me know what you think in the comments. Make sure you subscribe, like, share with your friends, and we will be back for another episode soon. Thank you, guys.